Hello and welcome to National Focus. I am Octavia Prosper. In the headlines, Prime Minister Skerrit spoke to tourism developments. Dominica takes huge win in under-16 netball tournament. And the Minister for Foreign Affairs visits Cambodia. The details of the headline stories and more when we return.
I love the freedom when I'm out there. Simply put, the worries from shore, none of that out there. And it's my daily bread. I learned it from my dad. My dad is one of the senior guys here who catch the biggest fish around here. And he's top with the red snappers. It's a family thing. I'm the only one fishing right now in the family. Just keeping it going. I enjoy bringing them up, man. Sometimes you have a yellowfin tuna, 400 pounds. Man, let me tell you, that's just a joy out there. I enjoy going out there and just holding the big fish. I don't lift weights, I lift fish. The morning of my fishing trip, I would get up, make a little spiced tea. Then I come down here. I have my GPS, which most fishermen are supposed to have that. Normally I prepare the day before, because whenever you go out there, you must have ice. Ice is a must for preservation of the fish. So I always make sure I have everything the day before. My fish represents me, and I bring good quality fish ashore simply because the restaurants themselves, they have to show a quality product. Tourism and agriculture go hand in hand, that's what I think. We're all connected, it's like a big machine, and I'm just so proud to be a part of it. My name is Brandon Carlisle, and tourism is my business.
Welcome back. Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit says Dominica is on the right path to position the island as a desirable destination for visitors. The remarks came during his bi-weekly press conference today, March 27. The Prime Minister says Dominica was recognized as a premium travel destination and was listed as one of the top places to visit in the region.
You would have noticed that Dominica, as a destination, is enjoying a period of high visibility and glowing reviews in top industry publications. Just in the past 2 weeks alone, Dominica was named to at least 3 highly regarded lists, including features on CNN Travel and Time magazine. These are encouraging signs that we are on the right track with our efforts to position the destination as a desirable option for travelers seeking a unique vacation experience.
Prime Minister Skerrit says, however, more work has to be done in order for Dominica to transition into a global brand. As such, government has engaged Mr. William Griffith to assist Dominica with the transformation of the next phase of tourism.
We want to strengthen our tourism authority into a more strategic entity to lead market diversification and penetration and place the sector on a sustained growth trajectory. To this end, the Government of Dominica has engaged the services of William Griffith, the Managing Director of WCG Consulting, which offers specialist services in strategic management and marketing and sales for the tourism and hotel industry. We have engaged Mr. Griffith to assist and direct us in navigating through the next phase of our tourism transformation.
Prime Minister Skerrit says he believes Mr. Griffith will contribute meaningful change to the tourism industry.
Mr. Griffith's scope of work in the first instance is to examine and recommend solutions for building tourism awareness locally, explore training opportunities and the possibility of establishing a hospitality institute, and examine the current business model of the Discover Dominica Authority with a view to strengthening capacity and effectiveness. He will also look to identify and court new airline partners with the objective of securing additional airlift opportunities and assess the status of the current cruise industry to increase its economic impact through improvement of product offerings and a further sensitization of our people on the importance of customer service.
Honorable Cozier Frederick, Minister for Environment, Rural Modernization, Kalinago Upliftment and Constituency Empowerment, has provided an update on various aspects of his ministry's operations. The minister, who appeared with the Honorable Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit at the bi-weekly press conference on Monday, March 27, covered a number of areas including the Forestry, Wildlife and Parks Division, the rehabilitation of the Waiti-Kubuli National Trail, and government's National Employment Program, NEP. The minister says the NEP, while a very important intervention, is also misunderstood.
We have various components in the NEP. We have people engaged in the public sector across departments of government. There are folks engaged at the Dominica China Friendship Hospital. There are folks who are full-time interns in private institutions across the country. There are also some institutions who are assisting, and so we have a 50-50% partnership where we pay half of the salaries and the institution pays the other half. We do have a number of folks at schools across the Dominican space. We have folks within the constituency offices, and we also have the most famous one that normally we ascribe to NEP, which is the cleanup and beautification aspect of it. So in total, we have a little above the public service numbers. We have 4,352 people engaged in the NEP system across the board.
The NEP program is not only providing much-needed employment for Dominica's youth, but through the implementation of the program, government is investing heavily in the private sector.
Just this year, we have spent over $29 million in the NEP, so which is a significant amount of money. And I'll tell you folks, this is all indigenous funds, local monies that we're able to raise to do that. And an important part I would like to highlight here is the significant amount of money we spend within the private sector. Yes, so the small shop owners, the barber shops, we do have people engaged at the guest houses. And in that sector, we spend on average monthly over $600,000. That means the government is investing that amount of money in the private sector.
The minister says under the program, special consideration is given to supporting small enterprises.
We do as a government support wholesomely small enterprises. I also want to encourage and highlight the fact that the small business agencies must also continue to work with us to engage that they could rope in and bring in on a permanent basis the folks who are engaged within the NEP. And so we have a significant amount of workers, and on a monthly basis we do spend about $5.8 million on a monthly basis to ensure that the smooth running of the NEP occurs, and to remind the listening public that the NEP is not just the beautification part of the project, but it goes across the board into government services and also private sector.
The Honorable Minister, who is also responsible for Kalinago affairs, highlighted a significant project done in collaboration between the Caribbean Development Bank and government.
One, we are collaborating with the CDB to ensure we build resiliency within the Kalinago space. The end product is a multi-purpose emergency shelter, but in the interim we are training people at the hamlet level, the community level, to be able to manage and maintain that facility once it's built. And so we're building capacity at the Kalinago Council, empowering local governance and encouraging local development. And so we have a commitment for the CDB through the Canadian government over $2.1 million in that project. But also to note that government is also making a significant contribution. It appears to me that every other day it increases. And so we are moving from over $600,000 from the government's end to almost maybe $1 million in coming weeks.
The Portsmouth Association of Yachting Services PAYS Yachting Festival 2023 officially came to a close after a week of activities with a farewell dinner and awards ceremony last evening at Fort Shirley. More in this report.
The Portsmouth Association of Yachting Services PAYS, in collaboration with the Ministry of Tourism and Dominica Festivals Commission, has concluded the first ever PAYS Dominica Yachting Festival. The festival ran from March 19 to 26, 2023. To commemorate the end of the PAYS Dominica Yachting Festival, a farewell dinner and awards ceremony was hosted on 26 March 2023. PAYS hosted a series of activities over the week for the yachters to experience the best of Dominica. President of PAYS, Mr. Andrew Cobra O'Brien, said he was pleased with the turnout of yachters at this year's festival.
We are the grandfather of tourism in Dominica, and we are happy that the government came on board to make the Yachty Appreciation Week into a Dominica festival activity. And I must say that was our first trial run. And in every activity like that, you must have your ups and downs. And I think there are more positives than negatives. And we're happy for the outcome. And look at us tonight, our last night. And I must say that I'm very happy that we have that much cruisers attendance here.
President of Offshore Passage Opportunities, OPO, Mr. Hank Schmidt, commended PACE on the coordination of the event.
I was thrilled, and I'm thrilled with everything they've done. I'm thrilled with the notes that they're taking and what we're doing moving forward. So again, even though this started in 2016, we're now 2023 and planning for 2024. I am from New York. So in New York, we have the Empire State Building, we have Central Park, we have Yankee Stadium. But since I live there, I take it for granted. And it's only when we have visitors that we actually take advantage of that. Here in Dominica, you have more than we have in New York, nature to share with, and you have visitors coming all of the time. So I know you take pride in what you have, and we're all planning to build and continue on that. And really looking forward to being back next year.
Mr. Schmidt said that the festival patrons have become ambassadors to Dominica and that he highly anticipates next year's event. A festival patron gave her account of her experience.
It is so great to show up in a foreign country that feels like home and feels the love of the people and everybody. And the other thing we love is every year we come here, we come with a new list of things that we have not seen before. There is so much to see. Today we hit Strawberry Pools, so that was our first time there. And you know, you'd think after being here for 3 months, we would have seen a lot. But everything here is worth seeing again.
In recognition of their efforts, PACE awarded their partners at the ceremony and engaged festival patrons in a final trivia game recollecting the week of activities. Adicia Burton for the Government Information Service.
The Kingdom of Cambodia and the Commonwealth of Dominica have vowed to explore bilateral diplomatic relations. This as the Honorable Minister for Foreign Affairs, International Business, Trade and Energy, Dr. Vince Henderson, and Cambodia's Acting Minister for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, His Excellency Uch Borif, declared their commitment to enhance relations at bilateral and multilateral frameworks. Following the March 24 deliberations, the ambassadors agreed to provide mutual support at multilateral fora and have signed an agreement on the exemption of visa requirements for holders of diplomatic and service officials between the Kingdom of Cambodia and the Commonwealth of Dominica. The two countries also discussed opportunities and potential cooperation in areas of mutual interest, in particular trade and investment, agriculture, ecotourism and hospitality, and technical and vocational training. Parliamentary representative for the St. Joseph constituency, Honorable Darren Lloyd, hosted a Down syndrome awareness march on Friday, March 24, 2023 in St. Joseph. This was part of the observation of Down Syndrome Awareness Week. More in this report.
Students from the Western District Seventh-day Adventist School, the Caleb John Lower Primary School, the Bells Primary School, and the Achievement Learning Center all participated in a Down Syndrome Awareness March as part of a week of activities in observance of Down Syndrome Week. Down Syndrome Awareness Week is celebrated every year from March 15 to 21, with the 21st dubbed World Down Syndrome Day. This year, the week of activities was observed under the theme, Be With Us, Not For Us. Member of Parliament for the St. Joseph constituency, Honorable Darren Lloyd, stated that the biggest issue surrounding Down syndrome is a lack of knowledge about the diagnosis.
I believe that it is activities like this which actually more than just unites a community, but to disseminate the type of information that needs to be out there. And to say to you, young people, Down syndrome is not a problem. Down syndrome, I repeat, is not a problem. The problem is lack of knowledge of Down syndrome and the ignorance of Down syndrome. When you don't understand what Down syndrome is, then you see it as a problem. To me, persons who live with Down syndrome are some of the most special persons that you can find around.
He told the students that despite any complications they may face, there are no limits to what they can accomplish.
You can literally be and do whatever you want to. You can be whatever you want to be. And the only limitations, the only thing that is preventing you or that will ever prevent you from becoming who you want to be is yourself. Or the limitations that you set up for yourselves in your mind. All right? So irrespective of who you are, irrespective of what your complication is, irrespective of what your situation is, irrespective of whether or not you live with Down syndrome, I would like to say to you that you can be whoever you want to be. And your parliamentary representative believes in you. I will do whatever it takes to ensure that you achieve your goals, as long as I can do so.
Meanwhile, Executive Director of the Achievement Learning Center, ACL, Ms. Beverly Libla, explained that the theme for this year's World Down Syndrome Day is a call for more inclusion of persons with Down syndrome in major decisions.
Too often we see actions taken for persons with disabilities with no consultation with them. Persons with disabilities do have a voice, and they can express their feelings and opinions, and we should listen. This is a step in the right direction, and I do hope that more communities would engage in such activity. No one of us have got it all together, but all of us got it all. My favorite reggae artist, Lucky Dubby, has a song, Different Colors, One People. We have to come together as one.
Ms. Libla added that by working together, citizens can build a more inclusive Dominica.
By working together and making accessibility a priority, we can build a more inclusive Dominica that positively impacts Dominica's social, mental, physical, and economic health. It is the responsibility of all, and you will notice that it will take the collaboration of all sectors, private and public, as well as all departments of government.
Kuvia John for the Government Information Service.
You're watching National Focus. More when we return. Dominica joined the World Wildlife Fund in observing Earth Hour on March 25, 2023. The National Development Foundation of Dominica, NDFD, spearheaded the Earth Hour observation for the third consecutive year in Dominica on Saturday. The World Wildlife Fund Earth Hour called on individuals, communities, and businesses across the world to switch off their lights and give an hour for Earth, spending 60 minutes doing something positive for the planet. President of Dominica, His Excellency Charles Sovereign, also joined in the observance of Earth Hour.
Earth Hour first came to the Commonwealth of Dominica in 2021 with the focus to discuss climate change mitigation, adaptation, and resilience strategies. The NDFD has been leading Dominica in the observance of this meaningful observation being held all over the world. Earth Hour is a flagship global environment movement started by the World Wildlife Fund, WWF, in Sydney, Australia back in 2007, and has grown to become the world's largest grassroots movements for the environment, inspiring individuals, communities, businesses, and organizations in more than 190 countries and territories to take tangible environmental action.
Earth Hour has always focused on the climate crisis worldwide. However, more recently, it has strived to bring the pressing issue of natural environment degradation to the fore.
The aim is to create an unstoppable movement for nature. The movement recognizes the role of individuals in creating solutions to the planet's most pressing environmental challenges and harnesses the collective power of its millions of supporters to drive change. During the annual observation of Earth Hour, homes and landmarks across the globe switch off their lights, and persons are encouraged to take a break from everyday routine and distractions and do something to help combat climate change and to protect planet Earth.
President Saver believes that action needs to be taken to save the Earth.
Planet Earth is under severe threat and stress and may very well become uninhabitable. if we further delay decisive corrective action. In addition to tropical storms and hurricanes, we are facing prospects of droughts, warming seas, and rising sea levels, all of which will affect lives and livelihoods. We have seen and experienced the devastating impacts of climate change in our region and in our own country, having weathered successive natural disasters. The science is clear. It is known to all that there is an urgent need to keep global temperature rise below 1.5 degrees Celsius.
The National Development Foundation of Dominica hosted a hybrid panel discussion on Saturday under the theme Environmentally Conscious Solutions for Small Businesses in Dominica in efforts to commemorate Earth Hour. Government continues to make significant investments in the sports sector in efforts to meet international standards and boost sports tourism. Alia Martin reports.
Government is looking to capitalize on sports tourism in Dominica. A number of investments have been made in the sports sector, one of which is the Windsor Park Sports Stadium hard courts. Since the commissioning, Dominica has welcomed the participation from netball teams in the region. Among other sporting disciplines on the rise in Dominica are cricket, football, athletics, and volleyball. Minister of State in the Ministry of Culture, Youth, Sports and Community Development, Honorable Oscar George, says sports tourism is the next investment for Dominica.
I think attracting persons or visitors into Dominica to look at sports, I think that is an area where we have to consider going forward. And you can just see the impact of cricket, for instance, when we have cricket at the Windsor Park, the amount of persons who come in, they spend money in Dominica, and you can just see the multiplier effect there with our vendors, or musicians. And that is where I think we should focus heavily on sports tourism, attracting persons to Dominica so that they can enjoy what we have to offer and see our athletes perform.
The Ministry of Sports is looking to introduce other sports to Dominica. Minister George believes Dominica is making significant strides in the sector as the region is becoming more aware of its sports development.
We have proposals to host Caribbean volleyball. We have proposals to receive over 50 cyclists in Dominica. Myself and Greta, we had a meeting with some folks from fencing. All this, and last year we introduced boxing last year. So all these sports, non-traditional sports, but they are also very important in our overall development, and persons on the regional circuit, they're interested in coming to Dominica. So I'm very happy for this, and that just goes to show the investments we've been making in sports.
In an effort to ensure that facilities are up to international standards, upgrades have been made to the scoreboards and other sports equipment.
We have done a lot of work at the Windsor Park. We have upgraded the playing surface, the outfield. We have upgraded the scoreboard. It's very important for us. We have one of the top scoreboards in the world as we speak. And of course, we have upgraded the players' pavilion recently. And of course, the forecourt. We have transformed the forecourt into a venue that we can now host regional and international netball and basketball games. And I think that's very important for us to continue to invest in the Windsor Park, because it's our primary facility in the city. And I think if we continue to invest monies in ensuring that we keep it and we maintain the facilities, that will be an excellent decision for us.
The Ministry of Sports have also given considerable attention to the Benjamin's Park in Portsmouth.
I recall the days, back then when the Benjamin's Park was just a swamp, a complete swamp in the town of Portsmouth. And then through consistent investments, we have been able to transform the Benjamin's Park into a top-class facility, not just for cricket, but for basketball, for football. We have started the Dominica Cricket Academy, where we give our young players an opportunity to spend weekends there, work on the game, and of course represent Dominica at youth cricket. And that's making a huge impact for us in Benjamin's Park. We have upgraded the pavilion. And very recently, we saw the construction of an indoor cricket facility. And I must say that not many countries have this sort of facility.
The development of sports in Dominica is seen through the advancement in the quality of sports being played. Government has not only invested in the modernization of infrastructure, but also in the growth of athletes across the island.
The 2023 Jean-Pierre Under-16 Netball Tournament kicked off on Saturday, March 25, 2023 at the Windsor Park Sports Stadium as Dominica hosts the tournament for its first time. Kuvia John reports.
The Dominica Under-16 netball team has kicked off the Jean-Pierre Caribbean Youth Netball Championship with 2 huge victories. In the opening match against St. Lucia on Saturday, Dominica scored 23 to St. Lucia's 8 to clinch a massive win. Captain Kenya John had an efficient game, shooting 18 out of her 25 attempts, while Lumaya Ford scored 5 out of 10. In their second match, the Dominican girls completed a comeback win to defeat Trinidad and Tobago 18-15. Kenya John had another efficient shooting night, scoring 11 from 18, while Lumaya Ford scored 7 from 14. Minister for Sports, Honorable Greta Roberts, stated that this tournament gives the young sportswomen a chance to display their talents and represent their countries.
You who are representing your countries here today have already accomplished much. Just to be selected to play for your country on this grand stage is a major milestone in your sporting career. I encourage you to embrace this platform and to perform to your fullest potential. Make yourselves, your families, your school, and your country proud.
Minister Roberts told the young players that their participation is an indication of their hard work and determination.
Participation in a sporting championship at this level is no small feat. It is an indication that you all have worked hard and to get there, and that you have displayed an impressive level of discipline and commitment. Having achieved this level of sporting ability at your age means that you are in a good position to continue to build on your skills and expand your horizons.
She added that there are many benefits to be derived from tournaments like these.
I want to use this opportunity to impress on you the benefits of your participation here and how sports can play a role in molding character, shaping personalities for the better, and preparing young people like yourselves to make a living from your sporting talent. We now know from our exposure to regional and international sporting events that there are opportunities for high-paying careers in cricket, track and field, and other sporting disciplines. Netball may not yet be at that level of pro basketball and football, but there is certainly scope to play professionally and to continue to represent your countries at your highest level.
Meanwhile, Member of Parliament for the Roseau South constituency, Honorable Shakira Lockhart Hippolyte, thanked the government and all involved in ensuring a successful hosting of this championship.
We are happy to have you here with us. We are grateful for the efforts of the government of Dominica, the Caribbean Netball Association, the hard-working Dominica Netball Association, the many sponsors, officials, volunteers, and so many others whose collaborative efforts have made this event possible.
6 teams are competing in this year's tournament. Kuvia John for the Government Information Service.
And that's all for this edition of National Focus. Be sure to follow GIS Dominica on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitter. You can also drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm. From all of us here on the GIS News Production team, I am Octavia Prosper. Thanks for watching and stay safe.